short game that is quite related to our topic for today. It is entitled Guess the Country. For the mechanics, you're just going to guess what country is it portraying in the given letters or images, and you only have 10 seconds to answer. Now, let's begin the game. Guess the country number 1. The answer is Finland. Guess the country number 2. The answer is Belgium. Guess the country number 3. The answer is Poland. Guess the country number 4. The answer is Turkey. Guess the country number 5. The answer is France. Guess the country number 6. The answer is Czech Republic. So that's all for our short game. Now, prepare yourself for our discussion, and without further ado, let's start.
European Union as a destination in the world. Over the past decades, tourism has become a key driver of socio-economic progress through the generation of jobs, exports, income, and infrastructures development for many destinations around the world. Since the end of World War II, international tourist arrivals worldwide have experienced continued growth, reaching 1,239 million in 2016 compared to 25 million arrivals in 1950. These arrivals generated Euro 1,108 billion in international tourism receipts in 2016. For these two key indicators will be used, international tourist arrivals and international tourism receipts, as compiled by UNWTO from data reported by destinations around the world.
The European Union is the world's most popular destination and the second largest sending region for the degree-seeking mobile students, according to the 2022 edition of Campus Francis Key Figures. The 2022 edition of Campus Francis Key Figures report highlights the latest 2019 United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization figures on student mobility worldwide. The figures provide an overview of students' mobility around the world before the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic and Russia's invasion of Ukraine. More than 6 million students worldwide were studying in another country in 2019. China, India, and Vietnam were the top 3 countries of origin of mobile students that a year. The European Union was the top-ranked destination region and the second most common region of origin for students all over the world. The most popular has countries on the continent were the United Kingdom, in 2019 still part of the European Union, Germany, France. The most common countries of origin of students from the European Union were 1. Germany, 2. Italy, and 3. France. Other figures from the report show that in 2019, almost 9 in 10 European students who were studying abroad stayed European hosted, almost had 46% of the world's mobile students.
Let's first define what is tourist arrivals and receipts. Tourist arrivals are the number of tourist arrivals is the total number of visitors who arrive in a destination country other than any other activity for remuneration within the visited country. While receipts or international tourism, receipts are expenditures by international inbound visitors, including payments to national carriers for international transport. These receipts include any other prepayment made for goods or services received in the destination country. They also may include receipts from same-day visitors, except when these are important enough to justify separate classification. Destination in the European Union. Ranked according to both international tourist arrivals and receipts, 5 of the top 10 destinations in the world are located in European Union. Although they rank in different order, France is the world's #1 tourist destination in terms of international arrivals, 83 million in 2016, and the fifth international tourism receives euro 38 billion. Spain is third in arrivals, 75 million, and second in receipts, euro 35 billion. Italy is fifth in arrivals, 52 million, and seventh in receipts, euro 36 billion. The United Kingdom is sixth both in arrivals, 36 million, and in receipts, euro 38 billion. Germany is seventh in arrivals, 36 million, and eighth in receipts, 38 billion. Staff tourism destinations to the international tourist arrivals. We have rank 1 France, rank 2 United States, rank 3 Spain, rank 4 China, rank 5 Italy, rank 6 United Kingdom, rank 7 Germany, rank 8 Mexico, rank 9 Thailand, rank 10 Turkey. And to the international tourist receipts, we have rank 1 United States, rank 2 Spain, rank 3 Thailand, rank 4 China, rank 5 France, rank 6 United Kingdom, rank 7 Italy, rank 8 Germany, rank 9 Australia, and the rank 10 Hong Kong.
EU destination in Southern and Mediterranean Europe. The 8th destination in Southern and Mediterranean Europe, the most visited group of countries, led growth with an 8% increase in arrivals in 2016 to 193 million from solid performance in most destinations. The reduction of tourism flows from the other European destinations due to security concerns also fueled growth in arrivals. Spain, the world's third most visited destination after France and the United States, received 7 million more international tourist arrival UN 2016 to reach 75 million. A solid 10% increase that follows a decade of extraordinary performance in tourism. Portugal also showed solid performance in 2016, with international guest arrivals in accommodation establishments growing 12%. Arrival to Slovenia, plus 12%, grew strongly in 2016 to reach a total of 3 million. Croatia continues to reap the benefits of the successful rebuilding of its tourism sector over the last decade. In 2016, arrival grew 90% for the second year in a row to a total of 14 million, enhanced by increased air connectivity. Arrivals to Greece grew 5% in 2016 to a total of 25 million. Growth peaked towards the end of the year, recovering from a decrease in arrivals during the first part of the year due to the refugee and migrant crisis, while tourism received fell by 7% to euro 13 billion. Italy, Europe's third largest destination, welcomed 52 million arrival plus 13%, following similar growth in 2015. Enhanced air connectivity, along with a strong perception of safety, also played in favor of the island destinations of Cyprus, 20%, and Malta plus 10%, which recorded 3 million and 2 million arrival in 2016.
EU destinations in Central and Eastern Europe. European Union Destinations Central and Eastern European Countries, or CEECs, is an OECD term for the group of countries comprising Albania, Bulgaria, Croatia, the Czech Republic, Hungary, Poland, Romania, the Slovak Republic, Slovenia, and the 3 Baltic states, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. First, we have Slovakia. Slovakia visitor arrivals recorded 32,040 persons in December 2021 compared with 25,384 persons in the previous year. Slovakia visitor arrivals data is updated yearly, available from December 2000 to December 2021. The data reached an all-time high of 3,834 persons in December 2018 and a record low of 25,384 persons in December 2020. In 2020, receipts for travel items for Slovakia was $1,254 million, though Slovakia receipts for travel items fluctuated substantially in recent years. It intended to increase through to 2001 to 2020 period ending at 1,254 million US dollars in 2020. Slovakia lead growth in arrivals and receipts, both increasing by 17%. Arrivals in accommodation establishments 2 million and earnings euro 2 billion. Next, we have Bulgaria. The number of visitors from abroad to Bulgaria increased 24.4% from a year earlier to 1,533.5 thousand in July of 2022. In the aftermath of the pandemic crisis, increases were seen in the trips with all observed purposes, namely holiday and recreational, professionals and other including as guests and passing transits. In 2020, tourism receipts for Bulgaria was 1,792 million US dollars. Though Bulgaria tourism receipts fluctuated substantially in recent years, it intended to increase through 2001 to 2020 period ending at 1,792 million US dollars in 2020. Bulgaria recorded a strong growth in arrivals and receipts. Arriving rose to 8 million while earnings increased to euro 3 billion. And then next we have Romania. The tourism industry in Romania is mainly focused on its rich history, medieval castles, beautiful mountain landscapes, beach resorts, and the Danube Delta. Since 2015, the number of arrivals in tourist accommodation in Romania has been increasing by approximately 1 million every year. By 2019, over 13 million tourist arrivals were recorded at accommodation establishment. It is worth mentioning that figures have been steadily rising for both domestic and international arrivals. In 2020, tourism receipts for Romania was 1,611 million US dollars, though Romanian tourism receipts fluctuated substantially in recent years. It intended to increase through to 2001 to 2020 period ending at 1,611 million US dollars in 2020. In short, Romania welcomed 2 million tourists each. International tourism receipts earned by Romania grew 2% to euro 2 billion. Fourth, we have the Lithuania. Tourist arrivals in Lithuania decreased to 485.60 thousand in the fourth quarter of 2021 from 864.60 thousand in the third quarter of 2021. In 2020, receipts for travel items for Lithuania was 470 million US dollars. Though Lithuania receipts for travel items fluctuated substantially in recent years, it intended to increase through 2001 to 2020 period ending at 470 million US dollars in 2020. All in all, Lithuania earned euro 1 billion from receipts. And then fifth is the Hungary. The number of inbound tourists arriving to Hungary, including same-day and excursionists, increased steadily until 2019, when it reached over 61 million. In the same year, 16.9 million international tourist arrivals staying for at least one night were recorded. In 2020, receipts for travel items for Hungary was 3,229 million US dollars. Though Hungary receipts for travel items fluctuated substantially in recent years, it tended to increase through 2001 to 2020 period ending at 3,229 million US dollars in 2020. In 2016, it was reported 7% growth for both international tourist arrivals, 15 million, and international tourist receipts, euro 5 billion. And then next we have the Czech Republic. Tourism to Czechia has been rising each year since the start of the decade. Around 37.2 million international arrivals were recorded in the country in 2019, including same-day visitors and overnight tourists. Czech Republic tourism receipts was at level of 3,890 million US dollars in 2020, down from 7,967 million US dollars previous year. This is a charge of 51.17%. All in all, Czech Republic was reported 4% growth in arrivals to 12 million, while receipts grew 3% increase in tourism earnings to euro 1 billion. Seventh, we have Poland. In 2019, Poland recorded about 35.7 million arrivals. This was the highest number of arrivals of tourist accommodation in Poland in the observed period. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the number of tourist arrivals decreased to 17.9 million. Poland receipts for travel items was at level of 7,771 million US dollars in 2020, down from 13,704 million US dollars previous year. This change of 43.29%. To sum it up, Poland's international arrivals grew 4% to 17 million, while tourism Earnings grew 10% to Euro 10 billion. 8 is the country of Krakow. In 2019, Krakow saw a record number of tourists, reaching an impressive 14.5 million. The increase in the number of visitors to Krakow is mainly due to the dynamic development of flight connections and improving Poland's road and rail conditions, enhancing the mobility of Polish residents. However, due to the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, the number of tourists in the city dropped to roughly 9.2 million. It is estimated that in 2021, Krakow will visit 11.3 million tourists. The World Youth Day attracted more international tourists, as did the city of Wrocław, one of the 2016 European capitals of culture. And then last we have Latvia. Tourist arrivals in Latvia averaged 11.3 from 2016 until 2022, reaching an all-time high of 26.7 in July of 2019 and a record low of 2,403 in April of 2020. In 2007, tourism receipts for Latvia was $880 million. Tourism receipts of Latvia increased from $222 million in 1998 to $880 million in 2007, growing at an average annual rate of 19.34%. Latvia recorded the only decrease in arrivals in this group, with international tourist arrivals totaling 2 million. Receipts also decreased 3% to Euro 1 billion.
Strong gains were achieved by the 5 EU destinations in Northern Europe, where 72 million more travelers arrived, a 5% rise, with a 13% increase to 11 billion euros. Sweden led this category in terms of growth in international tourism receipts. Stronger demand from China and EU source markets, as well as an investment boom in hotels and restaurants, were the main drivers of growth. Improved air connectivity and a sense of security fueled growth. First, Sweden reported an 8% growth in arrivals, while Ireland registered a 6% increase in arrivals. Second, Finland reported a 6% growth in arrivals to a total of 3 million tourists. Receipts also grew 6% to Euro 2 billion. Third, Ireland also registered a 6% increase in arrivals, welcoming 10 million overnight visitors in 2016 for the first time. Tourism receipts grew by a robust 8% to Euro 5 billion. Fourth is the United Kingdom, the largest destination in this group, which reported a 4% increase in arrivals to 36 million. Lastly is Denmark, where tourism arrivals grew by 3% to 11 million.
EU destination in Western Europe. The group of 6 EU destinations in Western and Europe, bumaba ang growth na international arrival nila dahil ng security concerns na apektuhan ang tourism flows. Ang total arrival ay nasa 117 million at naging kita ng international arrival in the world top destination ay 117 billion. Sa France, bumaba ng 2% to 83 million dahil ng naging resulta ng attack noong 2016 at sa attack sa Paris noong 2015. Kasama din dito ang pagbaha sa Paris. Ang kita ng France ay bumaba sa 5% to 38 billion kasunod ng pagbagsak ng 8% noong 2015. Sa Belgium, naman, ang binaba nila ay 10% to 7 million. Ang France at Belgium ay parehas bumaba sa 3% to Euro 11 billion. Sa Netherlands, naman, 5% ang tinaas sa international arrivals, nasa 16 million, tumaas sila ng 7% to 13 billion. Sa Austria naman, tumaas ang tourism arrivals nila. Nasa 28 million tourists at ang tourism earning nila ay nasa 6% to Euro ay 17 billion. Sa Germany, 2% ang tinaas nila. Bale, 36 million arrivals tapos ang international tourism receipt ay kumita ng 2% to 34 billion.
Lots of events happened that affect the growth arrivals of tourists in these following countries. First one is Turkey, which had a decrease in arrivals with 23% and receipts with 30% due to the aftermath attacks by terrorists, a failed coup d'etat, and other events which decreased overall numbers of this group of countries, decreasing Russian Federation demand. The results were also harmed by one of the Turkey's major sourcing markets. But in contrast, all Balkan countries posted a solid growth in both arrivals and receipts in 2016. That also contributed to their economic growth. Arrivals to Bosnia and Herzegovina grew 15%, while receipts grew 9%. In Serbia, arrivals grew 13% and receipts 10%. Albania reported 8% growth in arrivals and 13% in tourism earnings. Montenegro reported 7% growth in arrivals and 3% growth in receipts. And FYR Macedonia, both arrivals and receipts grew 5%. Some of the factors of the growth in tourist arrivals and receipts are developments in technology, better and affordable transport, ease of access to information, demand factors arising from tourists, increase in disposable income, and destination factors from the place the tourists visit.
Extra-European Union destination in Central and Eastern Europe. Arrivals to the group of extra-European Union destinations in Central and Eastern Europe slightly decreased by -1% to 55 million tourists. Tourism earnings reached euro by 16 billion. Russian Federations. Most destinations in Russian Federations was offset by a decline in arrivals by -9%. Largest destinations in Russian Federation experiencing fewer arrivals from CIS are the Commonwealth of Independent State countries and some European markets. Tourism decreased by -8%. In contrast, arriving to Georgia increased by 19%, Ukraine by 7%, and Armenia by 6%.
Extra-European Union destinations in Northern and Western Europe. First is the country of Iceland. The total number of foreign overnight visitors to Iceland was just under 700,000 in 2021, a 44% increase from 2020 when foreign visitors numbered just under 500,000. Iceland receipts for travel items was at level of $652 million in 2020, down from $2,689 million previous year. This is a charge of 75.75%, its sixth consecutive year of double-digit growth in arrivals, welcoming 2 million tourists. International receipts earned and grew by 36% to euro 2 billion. Next, we have Norway. In 2020, Norway registered approximately 1.4 million arrivals by international tourists, decreasing by over 75% versus the previous year's figure. Norway receipts for travel items was at level of $1,792 million in 2020, down from $5,861 million previous year. This is a change of 69.43%. Arrivals grew 11% to 6 million. And then the last is the country of Switzerland. Tourist arrivals in Switzerland increased to 1,116.8 thousand in February from 896.43 thousand in January of 2022. In 2020, tourism receipts for Switzerland was $9,994 million. Though Switzerland tourism receipts fluctuated substantially in recent years, it tended to increase through 2001 to 2020 period ending at $9,994 million in 2020. Switzerland is the largest destination in this group, who welcomed 10 million arrivals and earned euro 15 million in tourism receipts.